and put a few questions to Brian Cowan in the course of the press conference.
I have three questions to put to the Taoiseach, and the first is to do with the debt. What level of debt will this country have in a year's time on the basis of the calculations that you've been working on over the last while? I know that you haven't precisely stated it, but you must have some working assumptions regarding the level of debt. What do you think it will be?
Well, the first point, Vincent, is it would depend on the drawdown on the facility, should this facility be agreed.
Yes, but you must have some idea of the extent of the drawdown.
Well, I mean, again, in relation to what the detail of the programme will be, those discussions will now start. We have agreed the parameters of the discussions, but we haven't agreed on what the
yes, but you must have, with your cabinet colleagues and with your officials, you must have devised some notion of the scale of the drawdown that will be involved. Can you tell us what that will be?
Well, we've just explained, Vincent, that we haven't agreed what the level of drawdown will be.
I know you haven't agreed. I didn't ask you about that. I said you must have internally devised some idea of the scale of the drawdown. Can you tell us, the Irish people, what the scale of the drawdown will be and what burden of debt the Irish people will have after a year, 2 years and 3 years in your own estimations? We know there's no agreement, but in your estimations.
Well, the reason why I can't give you a specific answer to the level of drawdown is because stress testing will obviously have to be undertaken in relation to the banking system to see if further capitalisation is required. Whilst we have capital of over 8% capital ratios, which compare well, it's clearly that the markets are looking for perhaps a higher capital ratio in our banking system. So that's a factor. And so, we are here to announce tonight, Vincent, that we are applying for this facility. We have indicated to you that those discussions will be taking place in the next few weeks, and all of the detailed technical discussions will come out of that.
This is not a technical issue, but okay, can I follow that up by asking you, what undertakings are you giving? To what extent are you ceding responsibility for major decisions to do with the management of the Irish economy in relation to this deal?
Well, as you know, the IMF or people like that don't micromanage the Irish economy. The issue will be we'll make the decisions, we'll publish our plan. It's in the context of the publication of this plan by this government of making a correction of 6 billion and 15 billion over the next 4 years.
What level of decisions, what decision making are you ceding? Are you yielding to the IMF or the EU or whatever as a result of this plan?
We're not ceding any policy decision in relation to how we're going to continue with the correction in our own public finances. We're going to publish a plan which is being discussed presently by the government, which we will return after this press conference. And what we will do is we will publish that plan, and what is being sought to be agreed with the EU and the IMF is that there would be a facility in place which can be drawn upon by the Irish government should it require to do so, based on how we continue to repair the banking system and any other requirements we have thereafter.
Okay, I want to
go
back on a
question. Sorry, just to make, as you know, but just for the purpose of the public knowing, and we are getting access to those funds at a better rate, yet to be finalised, negotiated, than is presently available on the markets.
Okay, you won't answer either of those questions. Can I just put another question to you? And that, in all your answers to do with your own Brian Cow's culpability for the disaster that has happened in this country, you have talked about the advice you got, you've talked about the bankers and their culpability, the regulator and their culpability, the markets and how they've screwed us up and all that. At no stage have you acknowledged that you are the person now still holding public office who has most culpability for screwing up this country. Can you acknowledge that now?
I don't accept that, Vincent, at all, and I will defend my position throughout my political career in any decisions I took, the context in which I took them, and the rationale for taking them. And when circumstances change, then their policies have had to change. But that's my position.
You don't think you've contributed to the screwing up of this country?
I don't accept your contention, the premise to your question, that I am the bogeyman that you're looking for. No.
But who else? Who else in public office bears anything like the responsibility for the devastation caused to this country more than you?
I don't accept that. And I outlined in detail reasons why I can say that. I have made all of my decisions in my time, and government decisions, implementing those policies with government approval. And I can give the rationale for all of those decisions. And now that circumstances have changed, we've had to change our policy direction.
And finally, with regard to questions that you were asked before and evaded before, maybe you won't evade it now. The reality is, and everybody bar you seems to know this, you're a liability, not just to your party, not just to your government, but to the country, because nobody believes you. And also people know you're the guy most responsible for the chaos that has been caused. Don't you owe it, as an act of patriotism to the Irish people, to get out now?
Sorry, Vincent, I don't accept the premise of what you're saying. I have done every decision I've taken has been in the public interest. I did it on the basis of the best advice and take responsibility for all my decisions. I've never abdicated responsibility for any of my decisions. And during my time, I can discuss on another occasion with you the various decisions I did make which have brought benefit to the country. Circumstances changed. We were hit by a financial and economic crisis in this country, and we've had to change.
There you go. It's everybody else's fault but yours.
No, absolutely. I did not say that. I have always said that I take my share of responsibility. But I'm also saying that all the decisions we took...
Tell us exactly what you're to blame for.
Were taken in the national interest.
Tell us what you're to blame for. Go through what you're to blame for.
That was Brian Cowan. He said that he would tell us on another occasion the decisions that he took that were to the benefit of the country, and we'd advise and invite him yet again to come on this programme and tell us of the decisions that he took that were of benefit to the country, and we'd talk to him about the other decisions that he took that were of less benefit to the country. But we've been asking him now for 3 years to come on the programme.